The crypto market might be dipping a little today, but honestly, that doesn't faze me one bit. The XRP chart analysts I follow are buzzing with excitement, convinced that XRP is gearing up for a massive breakout. In this video, I'll be sharing insights from several top XRP analysts, including one who says XRP is starting to look absolutely wild, and another boldly predicting a surge to $15.00. And let me tell you, I fully believe these predictions are rooted in reality. Now let's keep it real. Those sky-high, triple-digit XRP forecasts you sometimes hear, yeah, I'm out on those. A $100 0 cents plus price this cycle, that's pure fantasy land, folks. But hey, I'm not dismissing the idea entirely. Somewhere down the road, could XRP hit 3 digits? Sure, it's possible, just not this cycle. Let's dive in. This cycle has the potential to create truly life-changing wealth. Imagine $15 0 cents per XRP could mean a massive shift for so many people out there. Let's not forget, XRP hit a low of just 28 cents back in June 2022. Going from that to $15 0 cents, that's nothing short of explosive growth. Right now, we're watching and waiting as XRP consolidates. Sure, it recently hit $2.64 before dipping back to $2.33, but that's not a definitive signal of whether it will or won't break into new highs. It's just part of the natural ebb and flow of the market. These fluctuations might test your patience or even shake out some investors. But for those who can see the bigger picture, the real story is still unfolding. This is all pretty standard stuff, and honestly, it's a good thing. Remember, the longer an asset consolidates, the better, assuming we're in a bull market. Why? Because when it finally breaks out, it's likely to skyrocket. There's a reason for that cheesy phrase, the wider the base, the higher in space. It might sound silly, but it's true. The longer the consolidation phase, the bigger the explosion when the asset takes off. Take XRP, for example. It's spent most of this year consolidating after hitting its all-time high in January. That's exactly what you want to see. Before diving any deeper, though, I should mention, I'm not a financial expert, just sharing my thoughts. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say or write. I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves creating YouTube content about the space. It's purely a hobby and all for fun. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's 5:28 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Quick snapshot. XRP is sitting at $2.33 and Bitcoin is just over $103,000 0 cents. Down a bit today, but nothing major. No need to panic. In fact, we've seen some solid momentum in risk on assets lately, especially in crypto. Check this out. It's worth a closer look. Charlie Bolello, chief marketing strategist at Creative Planning, recently shared an eye-opening chart. The S&P 500 has soared over 19% in just 27 trading days. Yes, you read that right. One of the most impressive comebacks in market history. Right now, it's all about risk on assets. Stocks and crypto are back in favor, rebounding hard after what felt like doomsday not too long ago. Remember the panic when the crypto markets tanked and the stock market followed suit after the tariff scare? It was all gloom and doom, but I kept saying these are capitulation events, prime opportunities to buy. Fast forward and look at the surge across the markets. Charlie's right. This isn't just hype. It's a historic moment for the stock market, a reminder of the resilience and unpredictability of investing. This is the reality we're in right now. Why? We're riding the waves of a bull market. Risk on assets like stocks and crypto are moving in sync, more or less, as expected. But wait, there's more. Check out this insight from Seth Golden, chief market strategist at Finam Group. He dropped a fascinating nugget. Only once in history has the S&P 500 hit 3 all-time highs in a single year and not gone on to hit at least 2 more. That was back in 1973. Here's another wild stat. Since 1980, only one year had its peak in February 2015. Based on this, there's a whopping 96% chance we'll see 2 more all-time highs in 2025. Nobody can predict the future of prices with certainty, but it all comes down to probabilities. If the odds are strongly in favor of the stock market continuing its climb, crypto is likely to follow suit. It's a domino effect, pure confluence at work. Let's talk about global M2, a key metric that's been surging lately. Historically, Bitcoin and crypto tend to lag 10 to 12 weeks behind this movement. Translation, we could be in for some serious action soon. Fireworks, anyone? History doesn't repeat, but it sure likes to rhyme. Take this insight from chart analyst Mustache. On the left, we see Bitcoin breaking out of a falling wedge back in 2024. Now look to the right. The entire crypto market is shaping up for the same breakout. The charts don't lie. They're telling a story of what might come next. Here's where we are right now. Don't get thrown off course. A small pause is completely normal. Dips are just opportunities to buy before climbing even higher. Sure, the market's dipping a bit at the moment, but plenty of analysts believe any pullbacks will be minor, and so far, that's exactly what we're seeing. A small, shallow dip. Credible Crypto has been emphasizing this too. If there's a dip, chances are it won't be anything major. Honestly, it feels like we've got the wind at our backs now. Case in point, here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Wizard featuring a Bitcoin USD chart. Even if you're like me, more obsessed with altcoins like XRP, where the real wealth potential lies, it's important to pay attention to Bitcoin. After all, Bitcoin sets the pace for the entire market. Bitcoin is gearing up for a massive breakout, and you'll want to pay attention because when Bitcoin moves, altcoins tend to follow. That's right, an alt season is on the horizon. Crypto Wizard himself has declared, strap in, the final rally has begun. With Bitcoin surging 9.01% higher, the climb is already underway. Yet some skeptics remain, but mark these words, there's still plenty of room to soar. This is the calm before the storm. If you rewind to 2020, yes, right here where I'm pointing, you'll see the same calm before Bitcoin exploded after breaking out. History's repeating itself, and honestly, is anyone surprised? The most thrilling phase of this market cycle is about to hit. The last year has been a roller coaster, let's be real. Sure, there were dull stretches of sideways movement, looking at you, 2024, but let's not forget the adrenaline pumping moments, especially for XRP holders. The real fun is just getting started. Chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto just shared a bold take on the Bitcoin USD chart. Don't short a bull pennant in a bull trend. New all-time high loading. Looks like he's got serious conviction. Are we on the verge of something big? Another voice worth noting is Crypto Michael, a seasoned analyst I've followed for a while. Fun fact, he accurately predicted XRP's breakout this market cycle. Yesterday afternoon, he posted, altcoins will wake up after Bitcoin hits a new all-time high as a wave of retail investors floods the market. Interesting point. Retail interest is pretty quiet right now. You can see it in Google Trends, search Bitcoin, XRP, or crypto, and the hype isn't quite there yet. That's actually a good thing. Take a look at where prices stand without factoring in interest. Now, picture even more interest piling on top of that. Crazy, right? That's exactly what's coming next. It's typical for retail investors and fresh money to flood in after Bitcoin hits a new all-time high. That's when the headlines start rolling, sparking the hype and feeding the euphoria. I fully buy into this idea. Wait for Bitcoin to break its record. When it does, altcoins like XRP won't be far behind, and a wave of new investors will dive headfirst into the market. So here's the deal. Institutions are stacking up on Bitcoin while the masses are diving headfirst into altcoins. The crypto market is gearing up for a massive pump with FOMO about to hit hard. Yes, please. I'll take that. And honestly, I'm all in on this narrative. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the ETHUSD chart for some perspective. Now, here's a gem from the great Matt. He's been making an excellent point, and I'm about to share it with you. The key takeaway, the entire asset class tends to move in sync. That's why this post is worth your time. Check out what's happening across the board. Altcoins are setting up beautifully for a breakout. Everything's aligning perfectly. Like pieces of a puzzle falling into place, momentum is building fast. Matt notes that nearly all altcoin charts are either testing their 20-week moving average as resistance or successfully backtesting it, just like Ethereum. Being bearish now, that's a one-way ticket to regrets. It's time to ride the bull run. No kidding. Here's another awesome post by the one and only Matsby. This chart breaks down XRP/USD, and we're diving into all things XRP for the rest of the video. So are you catching the details? Last week, the price flipped the final Fibos, the .886 level at $2.25 into support. You can see it right here, $2.25. That level isn't just holding, it's locking in. That's right, it's solid support now, gotta love it. And here's the kicker, XRP has spent most of this year consolidating. Yes, I'll say it again. Most of this bullish year has been all about building that foundation, but just wait. Because when this thing rips, it's going to be explosive. We're talking price discovery for the first time in 7 years. Get ready for fireworks. Oh, and shout out to chart analyst Peppa at Moonshine for their great insights too. XRP is setting up something big, a massive bullish flag forming with a potential target of $15, 0 cents plus after a historic 2,500-day breakout. In the quoted tweet, there's a mention of this incredible move, and honestly, it's hard to ignore the excitement. I've talked about this before, but here's the kicker. Back on November 12th, 2024, someone called it. They said, holy ass, bears are screwed. And they were right. That multi-year consolidation, nearly a decade in the making, finally broke to the upside. People thought XRP couldn't hit a new all-time high, but guess what? It did. Sure, you and I never doubted it, but some folks, total doubters. Joke's on them. Anyway, now, after that epic 2,500-day breakout, XRP has been consolidating for 165 days. Those 44-day candles are something to marvel at, aren't they? It's all lining up for another massive breakout. Chart analyst Ali Martinez believes the breakout for XRP might arrive sooner than expected. The TD sequential indicator is flashing multiple buy signals on the hourly chart, hinting at a rebound. Optimism is spreading fast. Take a look at this post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. He's got an XRP/ETH chart that's turning heads. On the daily, XRP/ETH is starting to look explosive. There's a bullish divergence forming in the RSI's oversold territory, and the RSI itself appears ready to cross bullish, breaking the downtrend. All of this is happening right at the first key support zone. It's playing out almost exactly as expected. XRP, held back for years by SEC drama, has finally broken free. The shackles are off, and the potential is massive. Of course, it's no surprise XRP has outpaced Ethereum lately. Meanwhile, Ethereum's value against the dollar has been in the dumps for what feels like forever. Month after month, people declared Ethereum dead just because the price dipped. What a ridiculous take. I called that out as nonsense the whole time, and guess what? I was right. Then boom, Ethereum surge. Its price shot up by over 40%, dropping to about $1,400.00 before climbing closer to $2,600.00. Sure, it's dipped slightly now, but it was never the apocalypse people made it out to be. Naturally, as ETH gained ground against the dollar, XRP slid against Ethereum. No shocker there. I predicted that too, because history tends to repeat itself. I had my eye on Ethereum expecting a surge, and guess what? Markets always find their bottoms, folks. Why was I so focused on that? Well, when Ethereum takes off, it often signals the start of alt season, and sure enough, Ethereum started climbing. Now here's the kicker. I still believe XRP is set to outshine Ethereum for the rest of this cycle. We're talking major outperformance here, with XRP trending up big time. This is exactly what you'd hope for leading into a massive bull run. Textbook stuff, really. Want proof? Let's dive in. Chart analyst Stephis Crypto confidently states, XRP is about to go parabolic. Don't get fooled. His conviction, stronger than ever. And take a look at the stochastic RSI. It's climbing, breaking into an uptrend, climbing out of oversold territory. Meanwhile, analyst Great Crypto points to XRP dipping to $2.31, a clean double bottom formation. All signs are aligning, and it's looking like we're in for one wild ride. XRP continues to hold its ground, bouncing off the red descending trend line with impressive resilience. Right now, we're seeing some minor fluctuations within the range of Fibonacci levels between $2.30 and $2.62. At the start of the video, we talked about how XRP is simply moving within a range. Sure, some might feel that this gap seems significant and unsettling. $2.62 down to $2.30 can feel like a big drop, but let's not panic. This is just normal market behavior. Volatility like this is nothing but short-term noise. It doesn't mean the sky is falling. Focus on the bigger picture, the higher time frame. The real story lies in where we're headed next. The buzz around XRP is heating up, and for the first time in almost a decade, we're seeing true price discovery on the horizon. Imagine that, a global shift that could shake things up in ways we haven't seen before. It's going to be absolutely thrilling. And then there are headlines like this one. The Motley Fool predicts XRP could hit a staggering $600 billion 0 cents market cap within 5 years. That translates to around $10.50 per XRP. But honestly, I don't think we'll have to wait that long. My gut tells me we're in for a major surge this year. While I'm not one to make price predictions, seeing XRP approach that $600 billion 0 cents valuation wouldn't shock me in the slightest. What's even more exciting is that mainstream media is finally paying attention. Once they dive in, prepare for a flood of XRP stories everywhere. Case in point, USA Today just published an article, 3 reasons to let up on XRP before June 2025. Sure, the article itself isn't the best. It's borderline ridiculous, but the fact they're even talking about it, Mainstream media is at it again, throwing around headlines. The only noteworthy thing they mention, though it's irrelevant for this cycle, is the impact of a spot ETF on XRP's price action. Honestly, whatever happens this cycle, ETF or not, it's not going to move the needle much short term. The flows will be minor, barely a blip on the radar, but looking years or decades ahead, that's a different story. Spot XRP ETFs will be a big deal, driving massive capital into the market. Since these ETFs are backed by actual XRP, they'll significantly affect supply and demand dynamics in a meaningful way. Long game, huge impact. Short game, not so much. Of course, the article went on to include some ridiculous points too, like claiming the Federal Reserve cutting rates is somehow a magical solution. Spoiler alert, the market's going to do its thing. Rate cuts or not. Keep an eye on liquidity. That's the real signal to watch. Yet some people are pointing to an XRP industry event like it's going to magically move the price. Really? They're hyping up the XRPL Apex event as if it's some game changer, despite the fact that we've had multiple Apex events over the years with no major impact. It's laughable. The article I saw was a prime example of mainstream media's clueless takes on crypto, oversimplified and out of touch. But hey, at least they're paying attention now. That's progress, right? And soon it won't just be you and me tuned in. Everyone else will catch on eventually. Quick reminder, not a financial advisor. Don't make any investment decisions based on what I say are right. Seriously, that would be a terrible idea.